so here goes. Where it started from, the old model of influence, this sort of historical model of influence, used to be, I can make you do what I want you to do. I can force you. I have some kind of power. And that power might be, I have linguistic tricks, or I have Derren Brown style guru skills, and I can force you to do what I want you to do. Now, when you start talking to anyone who really understands influence and persuasion from a technical point of view, they go, actually, that's not really true. If it ever was true, it's certainly not true now. It works for very short-term, very small purchases. So if you're selling gadgets, if you're selling snake oil from an exhibition stand and you're never going to see those people again, some of these techniques will work in the short term. But they generate resistance because people feel they're being done tricks to. They generate buyer's remorse. People buy things, but then they think, I wish I hadn't done that. This fancy cleaner he sold me doesn't do the trick. I don't know why I believed him. And it stems really from a naive view of how people are in the world, that actually people can go around pushing each other about and expect that to be okay. It's not okay nowadays if it ever was. So when you look at, well, what is the way we understand influence and persuasion nowadays, and what do all the experts in influence and persuasion, how do they see it? It's more like this. It's step one is find out what they want. Step two, demonstrate how you can fulfill that. Does that make sense? Because it really does underpin everything we're going to be doing for the rest of the day. Now, a lot of sales training focuses on this second part, on the demonstration, on the talking, on the let me show you how brilliant my gizmo is, end of the market. But everybody who is a professional in sales and persuasion, as far as I can find out, says this part, find out what they want, is more important. Because only by finding out what they want can you demonstrate how you can fulfill the desire. And this becomes more and more important the longer the sales process is. So some of my clients work on big consultative sales projects where it takes months or even a year to go from initial contact through to them actually signing on the dotted line and buying the big computer system. That can only work by a series of conversations in which you figure out what you want, what they want, and whether what you have got matches that. It's a bringing together of two people or two organisations and their ideas. What's particularly interesting, though, is that while all the experts say this side is the most important, very few of them have any systematic way of doing it. They say you should develop rapport. Well, yes, there are techniques for developing rapport, and we've talked about some of them. But they don't talk about paraphrasing typically. So there are things in the developing rapport part that clean language can offer. They talk about directing the client's attention or the customer's attention to various aspects of what should be done, but they don't say how. And they talk about things like deepening pain, again, without giving any specifics about how that should be done. They talk about get their eyes on what they actually want. But again, they don't give much in the way of specifics about how that can be done. There are a few general questions are usually given, but there are some specifics. And all of the intelligent influence bits that we're going to be talking about today can add huge amounts of power to that side of the equation. And what they do is get you across that line between the two, armed with huge amounts of new information which you can then use to demonstrate how you can fulfill the desire.